Hello, everybody out there in the internet worlds. My name is D-Max. If you don't know who I am a streamer. I've been streaming for almost I think a year and a half maybe now. So I'm not like the most veteran of anything, but I do have a couple silly and funny memes that we like to do here on the stream from time to time. The gamer moment, the classic gamer moment, the thank you for your support, which is what I say to people who are watching right now. That's right, that's you at home. Thank you for your support. Tell them, Comey. Exactly. So we have got a bunch of different types of memes here on the channel, and from time to time I get asked by people how to make this happen, how to make it happen, because the way that my stream works is that if you're watching and you're over on Twitch, twitch.tv /D_Max_HS, that's my channel, by the way, wink wink. I try to stream most weekdays if I can, but we have a Discord channel, the link in the description. When I'm streaming, and you're in the chat, you can make these memes happen too. If you are subbed, or depending on, I don't know, we got like hundreds of things that we can do in the chat that's pretty crazy. So just as a demonstration, check this out. Gamer moment. I'm typing this in my chat, I'm pressing enter, and look at that. We chatted a thing, and then it did the thing, and it lit up, and it was a whole beautiful gunk greatness. It was amazing, right? You liked it at home. If you liked it, press like in the video. That's what you do. It's free. Come on, it's easy. So if you want to do this, be able to do this on your streams at home, there is a few things that we're going to be needing. If you don't have memes, you need to get memes. That's your number one thing. Usually how these work is that they're either pictures, videos, GIFs, something like that. I know that GIFs are technically images, but they kind of borderline in between those two things. Fortunately, I have a few example files that I'm going to give to you for free. No, nothing too, you know, I'm not charging anything for them. They're completely free. If you want to use them on your streams, you're more than welcome to. One of them I think I stole from somebody else anyway. Don't tell anybody. And I have posted it. And like I said, it is in the description of the YouTube video. But that is a link to a Google Drive folder of mine that has a few memes that we're going to be using for today's demonstration. Download those, put those in a safe place. So here we have the folder that we just downloaded all of these brand new memes into. I recommend putting this somewhere on your computer that's easy to locate, because we're gonna have to be referencing this folder a few times. All right, now we're ready to actually get started inside of OBS. So OBS, as you can tell, this is my OBS. Hello, ha ha ha. See, it's very funny. It goes around the screen and it makes like a weird trailing effect. I'm gonna turn off my preview because otherwise my OBS is gonna die. If you don't know anything about OBS, this tutorial may not be for you. You should probably familiarize yourself with OBS with other videos. There's plenty of them out there, just in case. I know that my setup looks a little bit different right now, and that is because docs over here, there's different check marks for different things that you need to show. So if something's not showing up that I am referencing, you can just go ahead and click one of these and it should show back up for you. But you do need to understand for this tutorial, scenes and sources, just what they are. Okay, just knowing what they are. Scenes being a collection of sources, and sources being the individual components that make up a scene. Pretend like none of this is here. I'm gonna show you how to make a gamer moment, the very basic gamer moment. Now, I had you download those memes from before, and there are two different things that I'm going to show you guys of how you can do these. This one file that we have in here, the gamer2_meme.mov, that is actually a codec called ProRes 44444. You don't need to know what that means. The only thing you need to understand is that that has transparency in the file. So it's already in there. So if you put this inside of OBS, it's immediately going to be transparent and it's just gonna work, okay? So I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So adding that into OBS, how we would do that is go to the plus, press the plus, go to media source, create a new media source, name it whatever you want to name it. In this instance, I'm gonna call it, let's call it, yeah, that's fine. Gamer02. You can call it whatever you want, obviously. Go to the browser. Again, this is when it's important to know where your files are located. It's gonna come up. I know that I'm on Mac, but it should be very similar for PC. Find the source, however it is that you find it. Click on it, make sure it's highlighted, open it. You should see the file pathing right here inside of the media source window for the settings that came up. And now this is kind of where the magic happens, because honestly, this is gonna get done a lot faster than you'd think. So for this meme, what we want it to do is we want it to be able to play when we want it to play, and not be there when we don't want it to be there. So for this one, what we're gonna do is we're actually going to put on restart playback when source becomes active. What that is going to do is that is going to make it so that when we make this this source visible, it will play the contents of the file. I like to put on for other the other settings inside of here are not as important, but that is the main one that you need to have on, is restart playback when source becomes active. I use hardware decoding when available, and I put close file when inactive, and I do show nothing when playback ends. The main idea is that, like, anytime you have something like this that you just want it to be something that plays and then it goes away so that you don't see it anymore, this is going to be the setup for it. You can adjust the speed of the meme too. For us, we're going to keep it at 100. And then this YUV color range, don't even bother. You don't need to worry about that. Applying alpha in linear space, again, that's more kind of technical stuff. For this one file, the gamer2 underscore meme, you can go ahead and check that, and that's okay, because it actually has alpha baked into the file. Again, big words, I apologize, but just trying to get you through what this is, or how I do it. So this one that we have for the canvas size that we're on right now, just to explain kind of really quickly, this is again more of, not an advanced OBS thing, but just something that's a little bit more kind of crazy about, you may not know right away. So I am streaming already, but if I weren't streaming, I could adjust these. Base canvas is how big your monitor is, and output scaled resolution is how big you want the stream to be. So in my case, I want the stream to be 1080p, so I made it so that my base resolution was 1080p. This is 1080p. So the stream is 1080p, but this file that I have inside of here is 720p, which means that it's like a fourth smaller. First, we're gonna fix the transformation is what we're gonna do. We're gonna edit transform. So right click on the file, or on the source inside of OBS, go to transform, and fit to screen is what you wanna pick. Once you get that, you should see a red outline appear around your preview window inside of OBS. That means that you did it correctly. You can test it by turning off the visibility for the source. Turning it back on. And if it looks like it's sized appropriately, then you did it, baby. You did it. Congratulations. What an actual gamer moment for you. Look at that. The reason why I'm having the problem where you can't hear the audio for this may not happen to you, but here's why it's happening for me. Then you need to go to your audio mixer, right click the audio mixer, go into advanced audio properties, and then you'll see all of your different audio stuff here. Locate that one. So in my case, it's right here, right? You can see it. And this will be a lot easier for you guys because you won't have all of this crap on there. I apologize too. I wish I could turn it off for you guys, but otherwise the stream kind of wouldn't work. So, got to do with what we got to do. So in this instance, it'll show up and it should have it so that every single one of these boxes is checked. These are the tracks. So this is saying which individual track it's going to go on. I could probably do like a larger tutorial on how that works, like how audio works. But the main thing that we need to see and change is right here where it says audio monitoring. You want to make it so that instead of it saying monitor off, you want it to be monitor and output. That means that it's going to go to the stream and it's also going to play for you so that you can hear it, so that you know when it's happening. So in case later on when somebody triggers it in chat, you'll be able to hear it and you'll know and you'll be able to react to it and it'll be a whole fun, great time. So now we close. So now when we turn it off, nothing happens, right? When we turn it on, there's that very loud sound. And now you can adjust the volume of that and you can make it so that it's a little bit more palatable to the ear. There you go. And that's now a little bit better balanced. And once that's locked in and you know that you don't have to adjust the volume of that anymore, unless you want to see the volume thing show up inside of your mixer, you can kind of see when I make the source invisible, it goes away in my audio mixer as well. And then when I make it visible, it shows back up. If you just want to make it so that it's, if you want it to do that, then you don't have to do anything. If you want it to just not be there at all, you can go click on the little cog or the gear for that source in the audio mixer, and then press hide, and that'll hide it. And if you hit it and you want to get it back, you right click inside of the sources, and then you go to hide in mixer. See how that's checked? We uncheck that, and then it'll show back up. So that's how you can do it. How to meme 101. That is what we are doing. But the idea is...
Fuck the Earth. That's right, this is what you get. My super laser fist.
This is my life with the memes, by the way. And this is what you rot if you keep going with the memes. You too shall feel this pain. But really quickly, I am gonna run through a really quick similar example of that. Just kind of going through the whole process, but this time with a green screen meme. So this is a meme, and I'll just, you know what? I'm just gonna throw it in, literally. Because I don't know how it is on PC, but on Mac you can just do this. But you know, if you were doing it normally on PC, you would go to media sources, you know, you would name the thing and blah, 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 and you would do the whole thing like I did last time. But just as a cheat on Mac, I'm just gonna do this. Drag and drop it, boom. Shows up, and it's there. So we do what we did last time, which is making the monitor off to now monitor and output. So we have this source loaded in here. And as you can tell, this is a very funny meme, okay? But it's green, and it makes my screen go all green. Now you can't see me, oh God, it's the worst, but it is funny. We do like Crash doing what he do best, you know, which is acting a fool. I'm gonna show you how to do the green screen thing first, because otherwise it's gonna cover up our whole screen, I'm realizing right now, which is funny. It's a funny problem. So like I said before, this is how it looks, right? Got the full green screen, whatever. There is right here, the more you know. Here's what we need to do. We need to make it so that this green screen file, or this file with a green screen thing, becomes transparent, right? So what we need to do is we need to go to filter. So we need to make sure that we're selecting this source inside of the source window. Go to filter, the plus button down here, go to chroma key, that's C-H-R-O-M-A, key, chroma key. Press OK, you can rename it if you want to, it doesn't really matter. And for now, we're just gonna kind of leave this to, we're actually just gonna close that out. We're just gonna add it and we're gonna do that. Honestly, that's pretty good. Like literally all we did was we just added a chroma key thing in there. And what this software does is it's smart enough to be able to detect what's green in the source and what is not, and then take it away. Now you can adjust this in various ways to make it so that it actually works out a little bit better. And then it pretty much works the same way as the regular gamer moment meme, which is just if it's hidden, it's there. If it's not, it's there. And that's a whole great thing. Now, what I do want to show really quick, though, is another layer of this, okay? So as it stands right now, if I press visibility on this guy, he just shows up, right? Crash just shows up, and when I press it to get rid of it, it just goes away, vanishes, right? No animation, no nothing. But the way that I have it on my stream when we do a WoW is he comes down like that. You see how he came down? We'll let him play his thing out. And then he vanishes that way, right? So I'm gonna show you how to, and there's Mr. Hippo. Oh gosh, I'm a little worried about the Mr. Hippo coming in. Ugh. I think Skyless just got rid of all their points though, so I think we should be fine. What we wanna do in order to make it so that this WoW comes in the same way that that last WoW did is we need to go to right click, and there are two options down here, show transition and hide transition. For this, I'm gonna put show transition. I'm gonna go show transition. I'm gonna go to slide. We're gonna press slide. That's gonna come up with this window right here. With this window, we're gonna make it up, and then we can press the preview transition to see kind of how that looks. Now that's actually gonna make it so that he slides up. Like he comes up instead of coming down. So I'm gonna actually make it so that it goes down instead. So that I think that'll reveal him down. I think. Sometimes I get this backwards. So let's see if I nail it. Boom. See, and then it comes in just like I said before. So now what happens is whenever anybody presses the visibility inside, you know, for this source, it goes down and it's there. And then he does this whole thing and whatever, and you can adjust the volume of it, you know, whatever you need to do. So that's that, pretty much. So now you have two brand new memes that you can use at any time. And, but right now they are not linked up so that the chat can use them as well. So if chat tries to make these memes happen. It's not gonna happen. It's just inside of OBS. All right, now we're gonna teach you guys how to set up inside of Touch Portal. Let me explain what Touch Portal is, by the way, just so that people can kind of understand how it works, what it is. So Touch Portal is it's basically like an alternative to Stream Deck, which is Elgato's thingy, like this. It's a nifty little utility that makes it so that when you press a button, a thing happens inside of OBS, and it's automated so that you don't have to search through it. You know, search through your sources in the scenes in OBS. It gets very complicated when you have many different things in a inside of OBS like that. So, for instance, I'm gonna hide and show my chat right now, which is gonna reset the chat, unfortunately, but we'll just show it. So, like, just as an example. So, like, if I press this button on my Stream Deck, which I have programmed for the chat, it gets rid of my chat, and if I press it again, it makes it show up again. So that's basically what Touch Portal does as well. It's just a different version of that. Stream Deck makes you pay $250 or whatever it is for their proprietary software, for their hardware, and then their software is free. Touch Portal makes you pay, I think, $15 for life, and then you get their app, which is on Android and it's on Android and iPhone. Like I said, it's actually free for like a couple of so if you want to do this tutorial without paying any money, you can. I think you're limited to 6 buttons at maximum though, and then like I said, the $12 for life it gets you for life, so you don't even have to worry about it. You pretty much get like an infinite Stream Deck. It's a lot better integrated in my opinion, and you'll see how in just a moment. So that's what Touch Portal is. So I'm going to assume in this tutorial as well that you have Touch Portal and it's already set up and ready to go, and that it's linked up with OBS and everything is hunky-dory. I'm going to show how to, okay, well, it's worth me mentioning too at this point as well that you need to have Touch Portal connected with Twitch so that Twitch can communicate with it. So how you link those up is you go to the cog for Touch Portal, settings, and then you're gonna go to Twitch. You're gonna click on this, and then it's gonna have 2 fields where you have to put in tokens through Twitch. There are buttons that make it really easy. I am not gonna press this just because it'll make it so that my Twitch tokens come up and I don't wanna have to reset it, so that's why I'm not doing that. But that's how you link it up. Once that's all linked up and ready to go, now you'll be ready to mess around with Touch Portal. The first time you open up Touch Portal, there's gonna be a screen that looks probably more similar to this, and it's gonna have some buttons on it and stuff. I'm gonna teach you Touch Portal to the point to where you probably won't need any of those buttons, and you'll probably just be able to make those buttons so you can just delete them. Or what I recommend, honestly, is just starting fresh on a new page. I recommend making a new page. So go to the plus button and type in whatever it is that you want to name it. Doesn't matter. I already have one set up. This is a brand new, fresh, this should be exactly what your Touch Portal looks like, you know, if you deleted the buttons or if you made a new page as well. It should look exactly the same as this. So this was what I had before, right? I have a button programmed here that makes it so that my phone, the page that my phone is looking at, goes from one page to another page. And this button right here, the little star, if you can see it, takes me to the page that I am now on inside on my PC in Touch Portal, right? So if I press it, you see it took me to now what is a blank screen, right? I've got no buttons here, but I know that it's Touch Portal, and it says example 1, which is the name of my page, all the way up at the top of the screen. And I'm thinking to myself, oh no, D-Max, you've ruined everything. You've ruined everything. Now how are you going to get back to your other page if you want to do it? Well, I'm going to show you really quick, and that'll be our first button. So here's what we're going to do. Inside of Touch Portal on the PC or Mac, press a button. Literally just press a button. It'll come up with this screen. Now, this screen will be your very best friend. If you are like me and you like node flows, you will love this. It's amazing, and I love it, okay? For this first button, we're gonna make it really, really easy, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see in this drop-down how there's all these different options, a scrollable window, blah, 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 blah. For now, we're just gonna focus in on navigation, okay? You should see it near the top of your page. If you don't, you can instead type in navigation, you know, start to type in the search under add actions, Navi, and it should just pop up. And there's two things. Select go to page. When you press go to page, it's going to show up on the on pressed. What this is going to do is it's going to make it so that it goes to a page of your choosing, whatever that page is, upon the press. So when you press this button, it goes to that page on your phone. It's important whenever you make a button inside of Touch Portal to put something in the text field, the button thing, or at least a picture or something like that. And I'll explain how to do pictures in a moment. But just for this, I'm gonna make this go. I'm gonna say main. I'm gonna do all capital letters main. And this is how you can adjust the text a little bit better to make it so that it fits more. I'm gonna make it so that it's a little bit bigger for me so that I can see it really well on my button screen on my phone. That's about right. I'm gonna hit save, and you should see main show up now in the Touch Portal thing. And even though it's not showing up right now on my phone in Touch Portal, if I press the little, there's like a little circle arrow, like a refresh button right next to settings. If I press that, it shows up right there. So now it's there. So now if I press this button inside of my phone, it's gonna take me back to my main page. So congratulations, you've just made your first button. It was that easy. So now we're going to actually make a gamer moment button. A button that triggers the gamer moment inside of OBS. So I'm gonna type in OBS on my search thing under the add actions, excuse me. So I'm gonna press the action, not the event. Event is something else. The blue action thing, press that. It'll show you, it'll make this little node here. These are nodes. Nodes are your friends. They're really great. We had a node in the previous button, but I'm just showing you and making a point to say that one node, this is one singular node, right? So for this node tells OBS to do a thing, to basically make it so that this becomes visible, like that. We can either make it so that it toggles the source, shows the source, or hides the source. In our instance, we want it to show the source. We want it so that when we press the button, it shows the source. So we press show. Then we go to scene. So whichever scene you're doing this inside of, obviously I have a lot more scenes than you would if you're starting up a fresh, OBS thing. So you find that. For me, it's empty. And then your source, you find your source. So for us, it is gonna be Gamer02. And these are typically listed in alphabetical order. Sometimes it's also in the order that they show up in the list. So just keep that in mind as well. Sometimes Touch Portal is a little bit hard to navigate if you have a lot of files working, but you'll get the hang of it, I'm sure. We're gonna call this Gamer Moment, okay? That's the button. That's what we're putting in the button text, and we'll size it up. You don't have to do this, but I'm gonna do it. There you go. And we're gonna press save, okay? Now we've got this button. So now if I refresh again my my Touch Portal on my phone, and then I press the button, it should, in theory, we found our first little problem. So I love Touch Portal, but Touch Portal is not perfect. I think what's happening right now is that Touch Portal is getting confused where the files are at. So if you ever come up with a problem and you think that you're doing everything right, then just go ahead and close it out and reopen it again. You should see, by the way, a little green indicator here saying that it's linked up to your phone. If you don't, then you need to press the refresh button on your phone to make it so that it goes from yellow to green, or red to green in some cases. All right, now we're gonna navigate back to that. I'm gonna press this button and see if it works. Okay, there we go. Now it works. The button that we just made is only to turn on, or to show this source in its with its visibility. We are now going to add in what's called a wait. In certain programs, it's called a hold as well, but in Touch Portal, it's called wait. And it's gonna come up with this little node right here, and we're gonna make it so that it says seconds, and default system and experimental system. It's just a different way that that Touch Portal counts internally. I know that this meme that I gave you guys is about 3 seconds long. So the way that this works is that each of these nodes is triggered in sequence. Touch Portal is pretty fast and it makes it so that it goes zip, like really, really quickly. It takes one, like, I don't even know how long it is, the delay between nodes, but there is a small delay in between nodes that's inherent to each of the flows, meaning whatever it is that's on top goes first. Whatever is on bottom goes last. Inside of Touch Portal, you can right click and it'll give you a list of options. You can duplicate, which I recommend doing in this case. Duplicate that show for the source and just drag and drop it down below here, okay? So now you're gonna have it this weight sandwiched in between two of the exact same node pretty much. Now we're gonna change this to hide instead of show. So what this is gonna do is it's gonna look at so when we press the button, it's going to go to the top node. It's gonna do the top node, which is going to show the source. Then it's gonna go to the next node, which is going to be wait for 3 seconds. After it's done waiting for 3 seconds, it goes to the last node, which is then hide the source again inside of OBS. Click save. Now we're gonna try it and see how it goes, okay? This gamer moment is for you, fellow, for beating the Niflheim Valkyrie. Refresh really quick. There we go. Okay, and now, if you press it, it triggers, and then it waits 3 seconds, and then it makes the visibility go away. And now, if we press it again, it triggers again. And we can just keep on doing this over and over and over. So long as you don't overlap it, you know, so long as you're giving it enough time to be able to reset whatever the meme is, you can just keep doing that over and over and over again. So now we're gonna make this button even better, okay? This button's pretty good, but we wanna make this button even better. Press and hold Command, and then click, click, click. Go to the top one, right click it, copy all selected. Okay, now that we've done that, go to the event tab, okay? Press on that. What we're gonna do really quickly is we are going to throw what we had in press down in here. Boop. Now you're gonna see these red caution signs come up because we're basically saying that there is an event that needs to happen, and whatever that event is going to trigger these things. But Touch Portal is basically saying, what event? What do you even mean by that? We're gonna tell Touch Portal what the event we want to trigger is. In our case, for this button, before we were working with just actions, now we want an event because we need to put an event in here. When button state changes, that is the event that we're gonna add. So click on that when you find it. You'll see this one. This one will come up. When button state changes to off. We're gonna need one for off and one for on. So you click on it again, make another one, make this one to on. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to take this one, the top of this, click it, hold it, drag it up to the top. You see that's going to put these in the list like this, right? And now those scary caution signs are gone. But we're gonna actually not stop there. We're gonna do that same exact thing with this on, like that, boom. So what this means, when the button state is changed to off, nothing will happen because nothing is inside of this little event right here. Nothing will happen. But when the button changes to on, the meme will trigger, which is this little string of nodes right here, right, from before. It's what we did over on the pressed, right, which is still here. So to make it so that we can actually see this in action, we're gonna go to pressed, we're gonna delete all of these, which you could either do by selecting all of them and hitting remove all, or if they're not selected and it's like a bigger list just to show you. You can also just delete all actions. Either one will work. So now this is cleared out. Now we're gonna make a toggle button state for on and off. For when you press it, it turns the button on. When you press it again, it turns the button off. Go to the search. We're gonna type in if, and that'll come up with a few different logic things. There's one called if statement plus else. I'm gonna press that one. That's gonna give me this. Now, what this is saying is that if something is a certain way, then a certain thing will happen. So we need to tell it what if, or what the if is. So if this button state is off, we want to turn the button on, right? So if this button state is off, and we press this button, it will turn to on. Else, it will turn off. So this is making a toggle for this button the hard way. And what I mean by that is that it's complicated, right? Because you've got multiple things, multiple nodes going on in order to make this work. For people who are not into programming, it might be a little bit complicated, but here is the easier way to do it. Instead of, this will work, by the way. So if we save out, and now we go to our button right here, right? Now if I press this button, it still functions. It's turning the button on because well, okay, we press the button, Touch Portal asks, is this button on or off? It sees that the button is off, so it turns it on. When it turns it on, it goes to the event of what happens when it turns on, which is the node flow that we had set up before to make it so that the meme triggers, and then it's turned off and blah, blah, blah. So with this node flow, something that I did forget last time, which is kind of important, is that we need another button state. So change button state at the end of this so that when this goes through and this turns on, it goes through these actions, right? Which does the meme. And then it gets to here, which turns this button off, which takes it back to here, right? But now when we press the button, it makes the meme, and then it turns it back off again so that when we press the button again, it'll make the meme again. So now that button is functioning properly. So remember what I was talking about before about how this is the hard way to make this? Well, I'm gonna show you how it's a lot easier. Delete all of that. Basically, I just wanted you guys to understand how if statements work inside of Touch Portal because it can be helpful for a couple different reasons. But instead of doing that, now we're just gonna type in toggle button state, and that's the only button that we need on this. This toggle button state means pretty much the same exact thing as the if statement that we made before. So if I press save, and if I do this, it toggles, makes it so that it's on again. It does the node flow so that it does the memes, turns it back off again, and then if I press it one more time, it does it again. So that's working. You know that the toggle's working. If that's, and that's a little bit more fancy. So the reason why we do that, the reason why we make this stuff inside of events is because events are a little bit more powerful than on button press, or like being able to do things on button press, because events can be altered in various ways where button presses necessarily cannot, because button presses are something physical and events are something that like Touch Portal does inherently. So something that I kind of want to just point out really quick, because it might be helpful for you, is this thing called change button visuals. And it came up, change button visuals. It's an action. When you press it, there's going to be a little window box like this that shows up. What this is going to do is it's going to make it so that the button visuals change in a node flow. So I'm going to make it so that this says gamer moment, but instead in all caps rather than in just case caps. So I'm going to change it to that, and I'm also going to add an icon as well. So we're just going to give it something. Let's see. What do we want this to be? Let's make it a star. Sure, stars are fun. We made it so that this now changes to an icon. So this, see this now? We're gonna make it so that when the button is off, the button state is going to change to have this as what it looks like, okay? We're actually gonna duplicate that too, and we're gonna make another one that's called cooldown. I duplicated that and I double-clicked the duplication and change the icon of that to, let's see. You know what, let's make it like a star that's not fully colored in. Press add, and you'll see that now this right here has changed. And then you're gonna drag that into the on state. So what that is going to do now is it's going to change the button visuals. So this is easier to view if you're doing this at home. But you should see that the button visual changes to cooldown when it is doing the meme, and then when it turns back on, it changes to the other button visual, which is just makes it so that you can actually see when a meme is triggered or not if you've pressed it. Now, I'm gonna make it a little bit more complicated, but it's for a good reason, a good cause, I promise you. Some of these other tabs up here are interesting. We're gonna be focusing on flows next. Well, first of all, what a flow is pretty much is a flow is if you it's the pretty much the event tab in this screen, but just separated from a button. Go into your gamer moment button that we had made before. Go to the on event tab. Scroll down to these guys that we made, this original button, these 3 buttons. Copy them, select them, copy them. Then go to flows again. Let's make a new flow. Add flow. Let's call it gamer moment underscore flow. You can call it whatever you want. And then paste those into here. So now what this is going to do is it's going to make it so that when you press this flow in as a node, it will trigger these actions, right? In order, the same way that it does inside of an event or any other thing like that, right? Go to gamer moments again, open that back up. On events, right? And now we're gonna take these 3. We don't need them anymore. We're gonna delete them. So remove them. Now we are going to add the flow in. So if we go to the search bar under add actions, type in flow, execute flow, press that, it shows up with this node right here. Press the drop down, gamer moment flow, you should see it right there, should just be the first one for you because you won't have any other flows. And drag it above the off, and now we have replaced those 3 actions with this one flow. We press save, it does exactly the same thing as it did before, pretty much. If we press this, it'll do it. It'll trigger the thing, and it'll be a whole funny thing, and it's great, right? Boom. Triggers it, and it works. Now, we're gonna make it so that chat can actually do this. Like, chat can trigger a gamer moment. So how we do that is we go to the events tab, right? Which is right next to flows, events. It should be blank. You shouldn't have any events there. I have multiple events happening because this is my stream. This is how I operate it. Press the plus button, add an event, make a new event. It should come up looking like this. Love the way this looks, always have. And we're going to now make it so that, well, we're gonna name the event. So we're gonna name this, let's call it gamer moment chat, okay? Just so we don't get confused. Because we're calling a lot of things gamer moment, so we just don't want Touch Portal to be too confused. What an event tab does is it makes it so that when something happens, it does a flow of actions, okay? So we're gonna say, now we need to tell OBS when it needs to trigger this action. So underneath name, where we just named our beautiful new event, we have event. It's a drop down. If you press this, it'll come up with a host of different options. I probably have a few more than you guys do just because of, you know, all of the add-ons I have on in Touch Portal. But you guys should see all of these Twitch features. The one we're gonna focus on is Twitch on, it's Twitch dash on chat message event. Twitch dash on chat message event. We're gonna click that. Basically what this is this is saying when chat says something, something happens. And we need to tell Touch Portal who we want to be able to have access to this. So in our case, we're actually gonna make this so that this is usable by everybody. If you wanted to make it so that it was just subscribers, you uncheck the everyone and you add that one. Now we have when everyone sends a Twitch message that, and then this is our next option, either contains, starts with, ends with, or is equal to. So what this means is that contains means, and we're just gonna type, I'm gonna say gamer moment. It doesn't matter about caps. It does not factor in caps. What contains means is that contains means so long as anybody makes a message of any kind, if it contains the words gamer moment, like right next to each other like that, it will trigger this meme. If you have it so that it says start with, if it start with it, so if the chat message starts with gamer moment and then goes on to say whatever else, it will do the meme. If it ends with gamer moment, you get it. Is equal to is just the chat message can only be gamer moment. It cannot contain anything else. It just has to have gamer moment. Again, for us, we're gonna just have contains so that it just has to contain gamer moment and people can, you know, mix it in with other words and it'll be funny, you know? For the purpose of this, actually for me, I'm actually gonna put a 1 at the end of this just so that I don't, you know what? I'm gonna make the T into a 1 instead. So mine is actually gonna be Gamer Moment 1, but yours should just be Gamer Moments. The only reason I'm doing this is because I already have a Gamer Moment event in my chat, and so I want to be able to make a difference to show you that this is actually working and it's not just my prior Gamer Moment that I had set up. So once that is in there, input properly, now we need to tell OBS what to do when that happens. So in our case, we actually made a flow before, so it's just a matter of adding back that flow that we had done into the other event for the button. So there it is, boom, and that's it. That's literally it. The only difference that I maybe is worth calling out is saying that you can put this on a cooldown inside of Touch Portal. It's not visual. You can't see how long it takes to cool down. But if you wanted to make it so that people can't just spam it, and instead had to wait a certain amount of time afterwards, you can put it in. It is in milliseconds, so let's say 3 seconds, right? Because we want it to be so that the meme can actually go all the way through before somebody triggers it again. The actual cooldown time should be probably a little bit longer than how long it takes for the meme to actually be reset, because, you know, the counting being how it is, sometimes it can kind of goof things up. So it's 3 seconds normally, so I made it so that it's 3,200 milliseconds, so that's 3 seconds, 3.2 seconds, something like that. So now if we press save, you can see that it's added in right here in the events tab inside of Touch Portal. There it is, Gamer Moment Chat. I'm actually gonna type into my chat right now, I'm gonna type in Gamer Moment 1, right? Which is what we have it triggered. So now, if I press this, this should work. Boom. And it works. And that is how you do memes. Okay, so actually, you know what? I added in another file in that little example files. I actually have another one right here that is poggers. It's the poggers.wave. I'm gonna show you really quickly how to make like a little sound meme inside of Touch Portal as well. It's pretty much the same thing as what we just did with the Gamer Moments, but so I'm just gonna kind of go through this just to show you how fast you can get at making these memes, right? So here we go. So let's say I'm just on the pages thing. I wanna make a new meme. I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. It's right here. I can see it. It's right here in the folder. It's boom, it's right there, right? Okay, time to make a new meme. Events, plus, new events. I'm gonna say poggers, but I'm gonna put a 2 because I already have a poggers thing already. I'm gonna make it so that I'm gonna scroll down to chat. Then I'm gonna put in poggers. Everybody can say it. I'm gonna go to media, which is a different node than we've shown before. It's if you type in media, you'll see a bunch of different media options. This is gonna play sound files within Touch Portal so that Touch Portal makes the noise. Might be important for you to know for like sound reasons, audio reasons, whatever it is. It gets played through Touch Portal. So play audio. You'll come up with this little window right here, audio file. We're gonna choose an audio file. We can also adjust it to make it so that it's more or less volume. We're gonna navigate, try to find, we're gonna find that file. In our case, it's this one right here. Plop that down. We can make it so that it's less, not as loud, or you can't go over 100. So it might be better to make something so that it is a little bit louder than maybe it should be so that you can adjust it appropriately. That'll be kind of a trial back and forth kind of thing, but add, and you'll see the node already in here. It's purple, it looks beautiful. And look at that, that's it. We just made another button. It was, we just made another event. It was that easy. Now if we go over to our chat and we type in poggers.
Poggers.
The little rat says poggers. How about that? I do want to show something else too, though, really quickly, just because I think that it's kind of interesting. This is a different type of event button. We're going to make something kind of neat. And this is kind of encapsulating all of the different things that we've kind of talked about today, just to show you how powerful something like this can be. So I actually do have to kind of see what I'm doing inside of here. So I apologize if this looks a little weird at first. We're going to make Sonic run across the screen, and it's going to be a toggleable button. So how we're going to do that is I'm going to add in Sonic. You can see he's running. What a fast boy. He's running anywhere I want him to be, over top of me even, if I want him to. I'm going to put him down at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to do this really fast, but you guys, we can break it down. If anybody has any questions, they can get in touch with me privately and we can figure it out. So I added this in. I'm going to put it into a group. I'm going to call the group Sonic running. Just, yeah, that's fine. Sonic running. All right. Another thing that I'm going to do actually is I'm going to make it so that let's do this too. Color source. It doesn't even matter what we call this. I'm going to call it blank 333 just because it doesn't matter at all. You're not going to be able to see me for a second, but that's okay. This is the screen that came up when it came up. Don't worry about it. Just make it so that this is the width and height of your event or of your canvas for your monitor, for your OBS, whatever. You should see a full red outline around the whole thing. That means you're doing it right. Drag and drop that into the group that you just made containing the Sonic, right? Turn it off. It's actually going to stay off. It's only here just to make it so that when you press the file, like the folder, I mean, excuse me, when you press the folder source inside of the sources tab, it'll come up with the same big box like as before. I'm going to go to filters. I'm going to go to scroll. And I'm going to make it so that he scrolls. And look at that. Sonic runs. Impressive, right? He runs across the screen and then he loops back to the other side and he keeps running. Can lock that down and then that's there. And I'll make it so that he comes up and he comes down. I think this makes it so that he comes up. Yeah, comes up. And slide again. Okay, so this goes down and goes down. So now he goes down or he comes up, right? And that's a whole fun thing. So now this button makes it so this button has a Sonic that's running along. And if I want to hide him, he can hide him. If he comes back, he comes back. So now I'm going to go into Touch Portal. And I am going to make an event so that chat can trigger him to be on or off anytime he wants to be on or off, or whatever they want it to be on and off. So now I'm in the Events tab, from Pages, Events, plus add an event. I'm going to say Sonic Toggle. I'm going to make it so that when chat says on chat message, Sonic. Okay, we're gonna let that hang tight for just a second because I actually lied to you. I'm gonna get into how to do values because we're gonna have to make a value button. So we're actually gonna let that Sonic toggle just kind of chill there for a second. We're gonna go over to page. We're gonna make a new button. And instead we're gonna make it so that this is a toggleable thing instead. First on the button side of things, and then we'll make it so that it actually can happen for events. So that way we'll both be able to use it and it'll be a whole great thing. So on this page right here, I'm actually just gonna type in toggle because that's all I need on this on pressed. And then I'm gonna add in when button state changes to on or off. Okay. I'm gonna make it so that there is a button visual. This is going to be on. So now this button turns on and off pretty much, and it just tells us that it does. Okay, now we need to make it so that source visibility. We're going to show empty. I don't see it, so we got to restart Touch Portal. That's okay, it happens. Okay, here's Touch Portal again. And here's the button again. Go back into it. Should be fixed now. Sonic running. There it is. Boom. So, okay, now that shows, duplicate it again, make it so that it hides. When it's off, it's hidden. When it's shown, it's on. So now we have a button that toggles that, right? Sonic is on. Sonic is off. No Sonic. Sonic. No Sonic. Sonic, right? And it's saying on or off. So values. Here's what values are. I don't know how to explain this other than just kind of showing you, so I'm just going to show you. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually make a new value. So let's go to value. Let's press the plus button, add value. The ID cannot change, so make sure whatever you call the ID is what you want to go with. You can change the name of it, though. I recommend just making the ID and the name the same. I don't think it causes any problems. It's never caused me any problems. So I'm actually going to call this Sonic Run is the name of this value. Sonic Run. I'm going to set the default value to 0. Actually, you can make this multitudes of things. It doesn't have to be numbers. You can make it so that it's on or off or whatever. You know, there might be many things that you might make this, but for our purposes, I'm going to make this 0. In our case, 0 meaning off. 0 is going to be when it is off. It is not working. Okay. And then value type. This is something that they added new. I guess you can do multiple different options. It's kind of self-explanatory. This is why I like working with numbers, though, because Touch Portal is pretty smart with numbers and knows what's going on with like calculations and stuff. So it's not very complicated. I don't know if you actually have to put a value type at all, but for me, I'm just going to put numbers because we're going to be working with numbers anyway. Save that out. So now we have it. It's right here. Sonic Run. Boom. It should be the only thing in your values if you're doing this along with me. So we're going to make it so that this button changes that value state. So we're going to type in value in the search. Set value is what we're looking for. Set value is an action. It's going to come up with this thing right here. It will give you like a weird death symbol when you don't have any values in it. So it's not broken. It's just, we just got to set it up. So set value with ID, and this is where your ID that you set in before makes a difference. Sonic Run is the one that we're looking for in my case. And to value. So this is meaning that when this node is triggered, it makes this value into something. I'm going to make this one so that it's 0. I'm going to duplicate this node and make it so that the other one is 1. 1 being on, 0 being off. It is not working, right? So we're going to put this off over here, and we're going to keep the on right here. So now I'm going to show you what that does. Right here, my mouse is hovered over this. When Sonic is on and running, right now, well, it's kind of confused right now because we just set it up and it doesn't know anything. So now when we press the button and it's off, Sonic is off, it is 0, right? You didn't see that anything changed right there, but now watch what happens when I press it again. Boop. It changed to a 1 and Sonic is running around, which means that the button is on. Not only is the button on, Sonic is on, he is running, and the value is 1, which means that Touch Portal is like 1. Got it. Sonic Run 1 means on. We're good to go. So now we can take that information and we can put that into our event that we had made before. So navigate back to the events, go back to Sonic Toggle. Before we didn't have anything in here. We are going to make it so that now it is an if statement. So if the value, which we go down, scroll down in this little scroll down thing, values, find the values. I have a lot of values, as you can see, but find Sonic Run, click on that. It adds it in there. If value is 0, then we want to make the source visibility show, and we want it to, and if this gets a little confusing, bear with me. You should have an aha moment at some point soon. Now we need value set, another value set that we had made before, set value. Scroll down so that's Sonic Run, to value. We're gonna set that so that this is going to say 1. So what's gonna happen with this is that when somebody in our chat says Sonic, like any chat message that says the word Sonic, it will look to see if Sonic Run is 0. If Sonic Run is 0, it will show the source and it will set the value to 1. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the exact opposite. You know what? I'm just gonna show you. This is usually how I do things because if you have multiple, here, see? So now I have it so that here's the inverse of that. right? Because we want to make it so that it works both ways. So it's a smart button. If somebody is to trigger the thing, oh, but I gotta press the button. Hey, you made Sonic go away. What the heck? I want to get Sonic back. Nice. It's working. Thanks for that. Give me cheese, please. Also known as pancakes. Sonic. Oh no, you're taking Sonic away from me. Stop it. I'm trying to do a demonstration here. What's wrong with you? Well, I'm gonna bring him back. See, so that's what's happening, is that now when it is on, it will be turned off. When it's off, it'll be turned on. And then these values are going to be changed, right? Which is cool. So let me show you one more thing though. I'm gonna go back to pages once that's all set up, and you can see that it's working, because Give Me Cheese Please just toggle that for us. I appreciate him doing that for us. We're gonna go back into this button that we made, the off and on for Sonic running. And now we're gonna actually add in 2 new events in here, okay? We're gonna put in value again. And we're gonna say when it's gonna be under values, it should be an event called when value changes. Click that twice so you can make 2 of them, okay? In the drop down, make sure you select the Sonic Run, get a Sonic Run. Changes to. There's multiple different options. It should be pretty self-explanatory. Changes to being if it changes exactly to whatever the value is. Higher means if it's higher, lower means if it's lower. Does not change to means anything that it does not change into that one specific thing. I don't know, it gets a little dicey from there. Not exactly sure how that works. So 0 and 1, right? If the value changes to 0, then what we want is for the button to change to off, right? Because we want it to be a smart button so that it knows what's going on. So we type in button, change button state, off, right? And we make that with 0. When it changes to 0, it goes off. When it changes to 1, it turns on. So now if we save that out, we'll just toggle it again just to make sure that it's working. Nothing's crazy. We didn't futz with any of that, any of the actual button press information stuff. What's gonna be different though is what it looks like and how it looks like when somebody does it in chat. When I press enter, it changed from on to off on my phone. You can't see it because of the blur, but it did happen. So now it's smart. It's a smart button. It knows when it's on or when it's off. And because of that, now because this is off, I don't have to press it 2 times in order to turn it back on. So it just works again. So that's exciting. Is it not, or is it not? Yeah, and that's about it. I mean, really, that's everything that you need to know about Touch Portal. Now we've covered the basics of how to be able to use pages, values, events, and flows. So that's it. That's all we got for showing off the Touch Portals and how everything works. If you have any questions, message me on Discord, get a hold of me through Twitch, whatever it is, and I will answer your questions. Touch Portal is just such a very diverse, tool set, that I'm very happy with it. But Touch Portal's great, so go do that. And also favorite, comment, subscribe on this video if you did enjoy it, if you liked it, if it helped you out or anything. I know that I'm not necessarily the best at explaining this stuff, and hopefully this video came together and cobbled together, even though I had to cut it up a few times because I kind of messed up a few times. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's great. It's what happens, Gamers know. Well, I guess I gotta fix Touch Portal. All right, everybody. Bye. Have a good time, YouTube. Have a good one. Favorite, comment, and subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Everybody over on Twitch, if you're here, shout out to the YouTubes and say hello and come over to Twitch because we have a lot of fun. We stream all the time. It's great. Have a good one. Subscribe. YouTube, do it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.